Hello everyone, Amelia and more here for day 10 out of 30 days of talking to the camera. I feel like 10 days is a significant milestone because that means we're 1/3 of the way complete with this challenge, and I feel like that's pretty crazy. I think that's pretty freaking crazy. Anyway, today's concept is, prompt is a concept I've learned. Jesus. I've had a weird day. I hung out with a friend and I woke up early, which isn't my thing. So I'm kind of like, a concept I've learned. This is so vague, and that's part of my problem with this challenge, is that the concepts are so vague I can't nail anything. Like, that's what I want to talk about. I'm just going to talk about maybe marine biology today. Why not? So, my senior year of high school, I needed my last science credit, right? I took marine bio because it was an easy class, and I lived in Florida, grew up in Florida, so ocean life is kind of an interest, you know? So one of my favorite lessons, projects we did was we had to create our own deep sea creature and like make a drawing of it and stuff. And I think that unit was probably my favorite because we still don't know a lot about the deep sea. Like, we know more about space than we do our own oceans, and I find it really, really interesting. So, when designing this fish, this deep sea fish, I knew I wanted it to be red because red is the first of the colors in the color spectrum to drop out the deeper you go. Like, the English is very hard. What is going on? Okay. But yeah, so red is the first color that you can't see the deeper, like, it just stops reflecting after a while in the ocean because the light doesn't go down as far. So I knew I wanted it to be red for the maximum, because you were supposed to make one that would realistically live down there. So I wanted mine to be red because it wouldn't be seen by any of the other creatures, right? I'm pretty sure I also had it bioluminesce, so I drew like stripes of rainbow on its like back next to the fins that I had, to represent the bioluminescence, because again, deep sea creatures also bioluminesce a lot more than higher sea level animals. So I wanted to have like all of these different concepts on this one fish. Like, I made its fins really long and wispy, and I can't remember why why they're so long and wispy. I'm trying to think. I still have the drawing somewhere, but it's probably in storage because I was really proud of that project. But the fins were long, they were like see-through, I think. And then I distinctly remember I researched a name that was indigenous, like indigenous American, for some reason. I can't remember why. I think it was just because I wanted a interesting name. So like because you had to do a colloquial name and a scientific name, like a Latin. And so I kind of like combined the indigenous term. I think it was either for red or something like that. It's something kind of basic, but enough that it made this fish sound really cool. It might have even been like Ghost of the Sea or something like that. I cannot remember because that was 5 years ago at this point. But I wanted to make a really unique and really cool fish, and my teacher was actually like really like, she was like, wow, this is really good, this is really cool, you put a lot of effort into this. And it was one of those few assignments towards the end of my high school career that I got 100% on plus extra credit, because like COVID had really messed up my will to want to do any classwork ever. Like, I was done after 2020. Like, mentally checked out, you know? Especially being online and stuff. But yeah, so I think that concept of like the deep sea fish is kind of one of those that I love. Because deep sea fish are just so, like, they can be either really small or really big. Like, especially like deep sea jellyfish and squid, or even like just regular fish, like the I don't want to say sunfish because I don't think that's right, but there's a fish and it's ginormous, and one actually washed up on shore pretty recently before Hurricane Beryl. I'm pretty sure. I think it came up through the storm surge from that. I think. I don't know. There's been a lot of fish activity since that time of year. Red tide in Florida is starting to creep up because it's summer, so it's super hot, which promotes algae blooms, and ultimately red tide, which I think I've talked about recently as well. But it's just one of those things that I'm very passionately angry about. Yeah, I talked about it when I talked about Piney Point. That was a lot. I was very heated because it's just, this is our ecosystem, and like going back to that Piney Point thing, quite literally the Tampa Bay was the healthiest it had been in decades, like really great, and then Piney Point happened and completely reverted all of the process and wasted millions upon millions of dollars that had been put in place to fix everything. So it's just kind of something that really aggravates me, because environmentalism is not taken seriously enough anywhere, but especially in Florida where it should. So that's just kind of something that aggravates me a lot. And I need to text someone back real quick. Okay, I should be back. Anyway, but yeah, so the Piney Point stuff really aggravated me and upset me for multiple reasons, and it immediately had a horrible effect on red tide and everything. So it's one of those things that I just kind of feel like I have to talk about a lot. And it just kind of makes me aggravated. So it's kind of something I talk about a lot if I can. I'm not in Florida anymore, so it's hard for me to talk about it and make videos. I would love to make a more updated video of the one I made a couple years ago, but I'm not gonna be there to get actual footage, and I don't want to reuse my old footage because it's not the best footage at all, because I was just so viscerally angry all the time about it that I didn't really get that many good shots. And my hair looks really brown. My hair looks so brown right now. That was Gohan. He's mad because my mom and dad aren't home. They're going to get dinner. But yeah, so I guess the lesson of this video is to do your research on your local wildlife. Learn your native plants and your native animals and see what you can do to help your ecosystem, even if it's just your backyard. Check what plants are invasive to your area. You probably have them in your yard. Take them out, So, on that note, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, great night, whatever. Much love. Amelia. Bye.